Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Another episode of The Film Blurs. I am Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. Uncle Jeffrey, a.k.a. J.O.T's Dynamite, a.k.a. Who He Remains, Petty Ruxpin, Jobu Tupaki, Little Tom, this motherfucker, Black Giovanni Ribisi, Chocolate Tarantino, Ebony Spielberg, the final boss. And I'm joined here, as always, with my friend and co-host.
What's up, ball bags? It's Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. Hero Protagonist, a.k.a. the true father, Joe, Kanye, and Drake's kids, a.k.a. Poppy Chulo, a.k.a. the Glizzy King, a.k.a. Mr. Krusty. Come together. Right now, I need that crust, aka the lethal protector, aka Ezekiel Sims, bad ADR, don't match my mouth, aka the wait a minute, I already did it. aka Craven with the K, aka it's Morbin time, aka my biggest pet peeve is sports because I don't like seeing grown men sweat on each other, aka I want a Subaru Outback with mad strippers in the back giving shape-ups, a.k.a. Rough McGruff, a.k.a. D's Nuts, and a.k.a. B-Wood, the Magnificent.
All right. Are we considering this a special episode?
Yeah, nigga, this is a special episode talking about fucking Daredevil. I'm just going to call it as it is. This is the first half of the season.
Yeah.
Because Jeff doesn't know this, so I'm going to say this right off the rip. Daredevil, when this shit was first greenlit, they greenlit it for fucking 18 episodes. And then, yeah. And then they decided, we're going to put it out in 2 9-part halves. And then that became season 1 and season 2. And I'm like, now have seen the first 9 episodes, I'm like, nah, nigga, this is still one show. This is still just the first half of one season. So fuck you with that season 1, season 2 bullshit.
Yeah. And like we really can't talk about the other 9 episodes
because we haven't fucking seen him.
Right. Well, yeah. Technically. But like we can't even talk about like the first 9 episodes.
Well,
right?
we could talk about episodes 1 and 2 because that's right. As you guys are listening to this shit has dropped because the review embargo drops right when the episodes drop on Disney Plus. So the first 2 episodes are up. I said in my initial reactions last week that they make some pretty bold fucking choices in the first 10 minutes. And I will say this. I still don't know if it's paid off or not. I still have to decide what, because I'll tell you what. So we might as well just say this is going to be spoiler from here on out. Foggy fucking gets killed in the first 10 minutes. And I was just like, when that happened, I honestly wanted to close my laptop and walk away. Like, I was so tight. I was like, fuck, man. I wanted to hit stop and just fucking walk away. And I stuck through it. I watched the whole first half. And you know what, man? I still don't know if it's going to pay off. Because that was my thing is like, if this story pays off and it was worth it, then fine. But we still don't have the payoff yet.
Right. And like, look, if it were the original 18 episodes, right, for the season, yeah, I could definitely see they're working their way up to a payoff. But this first half, this first season, whatever you want to fucking call it, it is the inciting incident, right?
Yeah.
But emotionally, I don't have my justice, right?
Yeah.
This whole entire show, like this whole entire season, they talk about, the difference between law and justice,
And
right?
because Kingpin, the thing I like about the one thing I will love about this show is number one, it's a lawyer show. Like it is watching like Law and Order. And I
Right.
love the shit on the street where they interview the cinema verite where they interview people
The
about what's going on. I'm
the
like,
BB
bro,
report. Yeah.
this is straight out of a comic book. Like the way that
Yeah.
shit plays out, I'm like, all this reading a issue of a graphic novel. So it's episodic, but it feels like you're reading an issue of a graphic novel. Like we're reading an issue of Watchmen out of the huge graphic novel.
Right. And like, just like Watchmen, it's not until the last panel, right? The last issue that it all kind of fucking comes together.
Right.
We don't get that last issue,
Right.
right?
I will say, like, that's the one thing I do love is like, yo, Daredevil and Kingpin have almost the same arcs that they go through in this fucking
Yeah.
thing. Like the way that's done, I'm like, this is beautiful.
Right. Straight off the bat, I love what I've seen so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Everything is better than the Netflix version, right?
Yo, that opening
Except,
fight between him and Bullseye,
yo,
I was just like, this might be the most violent fucking thing they've ever done. And
right? And
partially
like,
because there's civilians who get in the crossfire.
right, because usually, if you're familiar with the Daredevil TV show, there's always one episode that they go like, there's this one,
Warner.
like this immaculately choreographed fight scene, but that usually comes like the middle of the season or towards the end. They start this shit the first 15 minutes,
Yeah, nigga.
right?
Yeah.
And it goes hard. And like, I don't want to spoil it, but like during that 15 minutes, Daredevil makes a choice, and we're all like, well, it's about fucking time, right?
My problem with that is like, yo, this show is so grounded in reality, even though it exists in the MCU and they talk about the fantastical shit that happens in the MCU.
Right.
My problem is, like, that nigga should be dead.
Right. 100%.
Like, I'm just like,
100%.
and by the end of the season, when they bring this character back in, I'm just like, okay, so he's a good guy now?
Well, no, I don't think he's a good guy. He's just like, he's sort of like the Punisher, whereas like, I have my goal, and if it happens to align with good guys, fine. If it happens to align with bad guys, fine. I am about fucking doing what I gotta do.
Well, we might since you brought up Punisher, we might as well get into it because all those photos leaked anyway. Like that,
Right.
like, and we'll get into some more Marvel leaks near the end of this shit. But when Bernthal pops up in the 2 episodes he does, I was just like, yo, can y'all bring back the Punisher?
Right.
I was like, yo, let's bring back the Punisher, bro. Like it's different when Bernthal just his presence and like. It's just his presence kind of steals the shit, and not only that, it's just like Bernthal as Frank Castle is the best depiction of Frank Castle and the Punisher that's ever been depicted.
Yeah,
and I was surprised that they are incorporating the most recent shit from the Punisher into this show, where the cops are the Punisher, and like. I'll never forget that one page where it was these Blue Lives Matter cops saying like, yo, good job, Punisher. You took out the fucking trash. We wish we could be like you. And he goes up to the cops. He's like, no, you're supposed to be upholding the law and standing for law and order and holding justice. You're not like me. You're nothing like me. And if I fucking hear you say that shit again, I will find you and personally gut you myself.
Yeah. And like there are shades of this throughout this season. Not so much in the first 2 episodes, but as you later go on, like he like Punisher straight up calls them fanboys.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Like, yeah. You're like he's like, yeah, we're like you. You're like us. And he starts laughing. He's like you, like fucking you. And he's by the way, this motherfucker is in a tight spot, and he's still talking shit.
Right, because Frank Castle will always stand on business.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like that dude knows no fucking compromise.
Right? And still doing the Bernthal scream.
Oh! Right? Like whenever I see Bernthal's Punisher come on screen, I'm like, oh, y'all motherfuckers fucked up. Like, why? Y'all fucked up.
Yeah. Um.
Oh,
Yeah. I gotta say, I don't. I'm glad she's a great actress because I loved her in The Deuce
uh-huh.
that lasted for 3 seasons on HBO. But I'm glad Matt's new love interest is kind of getting out of the picture by the end of this shit because I was just like, oh, I'm kind of tired of her.
Right, right. Um,
Do you know
you,
Karen Page's, before you go, do you know Karen Page's story arc in the comics?
no, I have no idea. In the
Because when
comics, who is
she
she the
said she
comic?
moved to San Francisco, I was like, are they really going to do that shit? And it looks like they're not going to.
Who is she? Who's
So in the story arc, Daredevil Born Again, that comes from the story arc where Karen dies in the comic books, where
uh-huh.
she gets so strung out and she becomes a porn star who gets addicted to heroin,
What?
and she catches HIV, and because she's so strung out, she sells Matt's secret identity to Kingpin,
What the fuck?
and then she
That's
dies.
horrible.
Yeah, yeah, it look, I'm glad they are not, it looks like they're not going that route with Karen.
Yeah, because that would be that's dumb.
Cuz
That's stupid.
Karen Page is the Gwen Stacy to Daredevil, and
Right.
Daredevil's Mary Jane is Elektra. Because I want to start reading Daredevil again, and I found out when I stopped reading it, the most recent run of comics after I stopped reading it, there's Daredevil had to go do some other shit, and he's like, "Yo, I need a Daredevil to protect this city," and you know who he gets to be Daredevil?
Electra?
Yep. So
Yeah.
when he comes back, she's like, I kind of like being Daredevil, and they're like, all right, well, fuck it, we're Daredevil, and now they're back to being a couple, and there's two
Uh,
Daredevils.
okay, that's kind of cool. That's interesting.
I was like, oh, okay, so like she's the MJ
Right.
to Daredevil, and I don't know, they might still kill
Karen.
Karen, but we'll
Yeah.
see. Uh they hint in the first episode, they do hint at a relationship between them, and
Uh-huh.
now we might as well say this is just basically season 4 of Daredevil.
Right.
We still haven't gotten there, and I'm so surprised. I'm like, are you guys ever gonna build this relationship to what it becomes in the books or not?
I mean, I think in the second season, that's definitely where it's going. Um, so uh, everything in this new iteration, we call it season 4, uh, is better, right? When I say that, you can tell they spent Disney money,
Yes, nigga. Yes.
right? They
Yeah.
spent like
This ain't no
it is
Netflix money.
right. This is like first off the bat, it's shot like a movie. It's
Yeah,
cinematically shot.
Aaron Benson and Justin Moorhead, like the zooms, the way the camera moves, the aspect ratio changes. I was like, it's all deliberate to pull you into the world. And I was so surprised. I was just like, why are you guys allowing them to do this on a TV show? But when it comes time to make these fucking movies,
Right,
nobody's allowed to do shit like this.
right,
And it's
right.
just the
Like
most bland, as somebody called it, it's like watching a very expensive Roomba commercial, and I laughed at that. They're like, these Marvel movies lately have been watching very expensive Roomba commercials, and I was like, yo,
uh,
listen,
yeah,
not wrong.
fair. Not wrong. But like that first shot that we get of the Kingpin where it's upside down and
Yeah.
disorienting is like who let you do that? Like that's craft.
Yes, yes.
Right,
All
right? Who
throughout the
right? Who let
yeah,
you do craft?
yeah.
Right? Like
It look, I was happy and I was so taken aback because I'm like, this is so awesome. But it
yeah,
also just pisses me off because I'm like, well, now you're asking me to go to a theater and pay money to see some shit that's not going to be anywhere near the quality of this.
right. Right. Yeah. And like you said, this is more a courtroom drama than anything. I mean, yeah, there's action, there's fighting, there's violence, stuff like that. Like the signatures of a comic book, but also the signatures of Daredevil but we like fucking this is lawyer territory, and I'm not going to get into later on episodes, but Matt ends up having to defend another superhero,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it's like that that is that is some tense legal drama shit. From what like all the trades and said like that, uh, Kevin came in because like the whole entire season was shot 2 years ago.
Yeah, so the original showrunners, what happened was these niggas made a straight lawyer show and Daredevil didn't show up till literally like the end of the season, like the very last episode, the last 30 minutes. And they watched it. They're like, bro, we cannot put out a show like this. It's called Daredevil Born Again. And Daredevil doesn't show up till like the end of this shit. They're just like, no, we can't do this. But they clearly liked the lawyer aspect of it and
Right.
kept that and they overhauled it. And I'm glad
Right.
they overhauled it because watching this now, I'm just like, yeah, you cannot not have Daredevil in this
Right.
motherfucker.
Right. Or you cannot have just like straight legal drama, right? It's got to have some action. It's got to have some stakes. Unlike what they did with Brave
She-Hulk.
New what? Oh, She-Hulk, but also it's like Brave New World when they came in and they did a whole entire overhaul. This seems like you can't see the seams in this,
No, you can't.
right? This seems like it was this show from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right?
I will say this is the only time an overhaul has worked in a Marvel project's favor. And,
Right.
you know, She-Hulk, when it was coming out, they were touting it. Oh, it's a lawyer show. It's a lawyer show. A lawyer show. And
It's a
even
comedy.
she goes like, lawyer show in the first couple of
Right.
episodes. And like the difference why it works here and why it doesn't work in She-Hulk is because She-Hulk, they made it way too comedic. And it kind of felt like the entire time, I'm like, not only is the lawyer stuff like unappealing and not well written, but like it kind of deflates the stakes of the show itself. Cause I'm just like, you guys are doing too much self deprecating, too much making fun of yourselves.
And look, I am one of the few people who really fucked with She-Hulk, right? I liked that show, but also, yes,
They took it too
th-
far.
they took it too far. Like the comedy, for the most part, wasn't comedy in,
Yeah.
and and
Yeah.
the superhero stuff wasn't superheroing,
Yeah. It was
right?
it was more slapstick than superhero.
Right.
And the
I-
shit that's just like, here's the thing stuff that's brought up in Daredevil Born Again is eventually, even in this first half, that shit is paid off or will come back into play because they're keeping that ball up.
right.
She-Hulk, there's shit that's brought up that is just dropped. There's characters that are in here who are villains that are just dropped, but like every single thing introduced in this at least has some sort of payoff or will have some sort of payoff.
Right. Well, you can see where it's going. Well,
Yeah.
you can see. Um, and I wish we could talk about the season as a whole.
Oh, well,
Right.
I'm going to because I'm gonna bring
Oh,
it up now. Like
I mean, if
episode
you, yeah.
6, nigga. Episode 6 is my favorite episode. It co-stars another character who was introduced. We all love this character. We all love
Right.
this character's show. Just like the comic books, as soon as this character was introduced in the MCU, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, more of this character."
Right. Right.
And
Right.
there hasn't been because the worst people said the movie that this character was in sucked when really it
It was
was fine and it was just another Kevin problem.
right.
So this character's in here and that's my only problem with it is like when they first mentioned like, yeah, my family will be there, including my daughter, I'm like, okay, cool, nice reference. See, that's how you build out the world. Don't fucking crowbar a whole fucking character into this shit and expect us to applause. But then they kept saying like, oh, come have dinner. My daughter's gonna be there. And I'm just like, yeah, we got it the
get
first time.
We get it.
That's
We
my
get it.
only problem. Otherwise, like that is my favorite episode of the season because it's a bottle episode. It is Matt using his powers. He's basically Daredevil out of the costume, and it's amazing.
Imagine if they made a live action version of the Batman Arkham Asylum game.
Or
Right.
they did Inside Man with the superhero.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna say anything else, but y'all are in for a treat with episode 6.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite episode by far. I think it's the shortest. It's only like 39 minutes, excuse me.
Yeah, something like that. But
Yeah.
it sings, and like it's a bottle episode, but it does
Have
fit
yeah,
right
right.
stakes,
Right. It
right? Like
has it
larger,
has implications going forward.
right. Um, so if we're gonna talk about the like, fuck it, if we're gonna talk about the season as a whole, um, I it, we brought this up in other episodes, how everything seems topical now, right? Everything seems like it was written uh like yesterday based on
Yeah.
what we're going through now.
Yeah.
But it's more like uh everybody who's a writer on these things are students of history, right? And
Uh-huh.
like the same horrible people keep on doing the same horrible things,
Uh-huh.
right? And so the culmination of that is, at the end of this season, and you'll look at that as like, this is where we are now, right? Pretty much. We're like 30 seconds away from this. It's like, god damn.
Yeah, yeah. It's look, it's the jingoism and the patriotism. It's just so easy for a lot of people to get swallowed up into. And also it's the othering of how we got here, where they're just like, well, I'm different. I did it the right way. And it's just like,
Right.
no, they mean you too, bro.
Right. I'm doing it for good. I'm doing it for the good of the city. It's like, yeah, but then we find out that
Yeah,
also.
exactly. Like, you don't know. You're also they're coming after you too.
Right. Yeah.
So
Um,
like, y- yeah. Go ahead, Jeff.
no, go ahead. No, fine. No, go ahead.
Yeah. I I really do. I don't know. We haven't seen the season 2 or the second half of this season. I'm just gonna call it the second half of this season. We haven't seen the
Right.
second half of this season, but I still don't really know how to feel as a whole about it, just because like I still don't know I still don't think it was worth killing Foggy over this.
Uh, I have faith that it is going to be worth it. It's going to be it's more than just an inciting incident and something to shake it up. But this season does feel incomplete, right? It feels like I want, like, in the best way possible. Like, I want more. I want more now,
Do you
right?
think that Foggy's really dead?
I mean, uh, look. It's a comic book show,
Right.
right? So
Right.
anything is possible.
Right. That's why I'm asking, because I'm just like, there's stuff in this now where I'm just like, I don't know. I really don't know.
Because that motherfucker in the first 15 minutes, he should be dead,
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes.
like
Yes.
dead.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Like,
Yes.
so the fact that he was able to survive, anything is possible.
Yeah. So all I know is a defender showing up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know which one, but a defender showing up eventually. My that's my thing, is like, yo, y'all really could have had people where Daredevil says the way the season ends, like he says, I need an army, and
Right.
Karen gets him an sort of an army, sort of, not really.
Right.
But when she said that, I was thinking, oh, all right, so the defenders are back, and well,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Right. Right. Right.
When
Uh,
wouldn't you as a writer be like, oh, you know what? We could do fan service and pay this shit off at the same time.
yeah. Yeah. Uh, we'll 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 we'll, we'll we'll see. As a whole, I'm liking the show, right?
Yes,
I'm
yes, yes,
loving the show.
yes, yes.
It just it 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 feels not like it. I it's kind of hard for me to put my feelings into words, right? Because like there's no complete closure of the season,
Right,
right?
right.
And so that kind of makes me angry.
Because even Game of Thrones, they ended each season on a cliffhanger, but at least there were arcs that
Right.
were resolved by the end of the season.
Right.
And I just still, I think it's a real sour note that we have to kill Foggy in order to get this story. Like, I feel like we could got into this story like another way.
I mean, like, look, I see what they did. I see what they're doing. And it was a bold choice.
Maybe it should have been Karen, because this is Born Again, and she dies in Born Again.
Right? Like it was a bold choice, but I like if they killed off Karen now, right? Like if they killed off Karen in the beginning of the show, I don't think for uh, I it would that would totally break Matt. I think even more than Foggy, right? And also, if Karen died, then the Punisher is introduced to this season much faster, and then it becomes the Punisher show. It becomes Daredevil and the Punisher, right?
Right.
Because if Karen dies, he's going to war, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's too little, too late for that shit now, bro. Like, yo, listen, y'all had an out, and look, so cops have been learning for the past like 10 years. They don't have as much power as they think they have.
Right, or the power is waning.
Yeah,
right. They think it's still the 1940s.
yeah, yeah,
when a cop could be as corrupt as a criminal.
yeah. And listen, if you can shut off your body cam, but that don't mean the camera's shut off completely.
Right. Yeah. Like I can't wait for these other subsequent episodes so we can get into more detail of what happens.
Yes.
But like it lines up totally to what we're going through.
It really begs the question about what those scripts were before they even started shooting, why they greenlit the scripts they did, because before the creative overhaul, Karen and Foggy weren't in it, period. Apparently they had casted somebody else to play Wilson's wife, which doesn't make sense. I'm like,
why?
Yeah, exactly. And then once they did the creative overhaul, they brought the same actress back, and I'm just like, what was the decision making going on behind the scenes? Why would you cast somebody else to be Vanessa?
Right. Yeah, no, that's dumb. Look, like you said, this is the one time a creative overhaul absolutely worked.
Yeah.
And like this show would have been horrible if it were just a fucking legal procedural.
Well, I know going forward, Marvel said the shows will be shows instead of introducing these characters and then shoving them into movies. So, like, I have a feeling this will be an ongoing show.
Well, good, because I like how they mention other superheroes without saying their names.
Yes,
but it's all very matter of fact,
right? And these motherfuckers, I don't know why they were creating shows just to shove them into movies. Because I'm like, yo, the only way you can shove these characters into movies is for Avengers, which is fine. They pop up in Avengers, but then you can't make a whole show for one character to come in one movie and then fuck
for
off.
Like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
do
like
one thing and then pop off.
Like that's why it's crazy to me they're not doing this. Brad Winterbaum, who runs Marvel TV. And he's like literally the last of the old guard there, because all the old guards just like, fuck this. Or they've been fired. Brad Winterbaum, he's just like, yeah, look, because everybody's asking him about Moon Knight. They're like, yo, look, Moon Knight was created when we were literally doing miniseries so these characters could pop up in movies. So that way these miniseries could introduce you to the character. You get to know the character. So by the time the movie comes out, all that shit's done. And now I can't move. Me and Oscar Isaac have been talking. We want to do a second season of Moon Knight, but we can't just because of the way that character was set up and what they have planned for the character. But like, that's why going forward, whoever has a show, their show's going to continue because these are now just going to be shows. I was like, yeah, what should have been done in the first fucking place?
Yeah. But honestly, this is the first Marvel show in a while where it's like, yeah, I want a season 2.
Yeah, listen, this Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, I don't see why you can't do season 2 for Moon Knight or Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I
Especially Moon Knight because it's so disconnected from everything else.
I can't even remember how Moon Knight ended. Like,
it ends with his third personality finally emerging.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because his third personality is a pretty big character in and of itself. And I'm just like, damn, we may never get to see that third personality in full.
Right. I'm gonna have to go back and watch Moon Knight because when Moon Knight was good, it was good.
Yeah. It just suffered from the
shoehorning.
And the we'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
So, but like before we go, over the weekend, storyboards from both Doomsday and Secret Wars leaked out. And there's a lot of shit they're doing in these movies. And I'm just like, there's no way you guys are going to be, I don't care. These movies could both be 3 hours. Both of these. There's no way they're doing all this in both movies.
I tried to stay away from the internet this weekend. But something came up. Someone mentioned that Loki is the linchpin to all this shit.
Your guess is as good as mine. I just seen a lot of concept art from like medieval times, which I don't want to give away what's going on there. Sheriff, somebody's like, yo, Sheriff Strange. And I'm just like, yeah, sure. Franklin Richards, I might as well just say this. Franklin Richards is going to be in Fantastic Four and both of these Avengers movies. So I was like, oh, so this is the character that's going to move us through the multiverse? Probably should have introduced this motherfucker a little sooner. Looks like they're setting up Young Avengers. Remember that was promised at the end of the Marvels?
Yeah, vaguely. Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like Young Avengers is going to be Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel, what's Scott's daughter, and
Cassie,
and Wiccan from Agatha All Along. And looks like we're setting up World War Hulk because there's some shit that leaked with Hulk and She-Hulk and his son, where I'm just like, oh, you guys are setting up World War Hulk in this movie. Doom has 3 different thrones and 3 different timelines where he looks different in each timeline. I'm like, how are you guys gonna do this in 2 movies?
Because they're not.
And somebody even said, they're like, I would be excited for this, but the problem is a lot of this shit comes from the last 3 issues of Secret Wars. So it looks like they're just going to adapt the last 3 issues of Secret Wars, which means that makes the whole thing fucking moot because you need those first like 6 issues to make the last 3 hit harder. They clearly recasted T'Challa already because I saw the storyboards from the Wakanda in a different universe, and I was like, oh, that dude's gonna be T'Challa now. Okay, because you could clearly looks like an actor.
Okay,
you know who it is?
No, who is it?
Damon Idris. I'm not mad at that, but I'm like, damn, okay.
Yeah, okay.
But it's just like, damn, all right, like that is a big emotional inflection that would probably need 45 minutes to an hour in this thing, because that's a lot of weight being put on another actor to pick up the mantle. And it's just like, I don't doubt Damon Idris, I just doubt the execution of all this shit.
Right, like Marvel has never skimped out on actually getting talent for these things.
Right.
It's allowing the talent to flourish. That's always been the problem.
And executing these stories, man. Just the execution across the board, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I was scared to watch this Daredevil show because Daredevil's my favorite superhero. But also I was very scared because, like, this is coming out like 3 weeks after Brave New World, and I'm just like, okay, all right, and like, thank God it was good, man. Thank God, because like,
Yeah.
we are literally on the precipice of this shit collapsing because everybody's just like, why do we even bother?
Right. Like that's the thing, and I was the one thing I will say about Born Again is you don't have to
Watch the
watch.
previous Netflix stuff, but it
Right,
helps. It
it
definitely
helps,
helps.
but also uh Echo.
Well, you could. Here's the thing: they reference Echo,
Right,
and it's referenced just enough where you don't have to watch it, where you get enough context, and you're just like, okay,
right.
cool. It wasn't a waste of my time, but for people who haven't watched it, you don't have to throw it all the way completely out. And they also bring back, because Echo was first introduced in Hawkeye, so there's another character from Hawkeye in this, and I'm just like, they're using this character from Hawkeye better in this than he was in. And I really don't like Hawkeye at all.
It was a cute show. It was definitely Hawkeye was a Christmas show,
Yeah,
right? It felt like it felt it felt better than the Star Wars Christmas special, right? It's a little bit better executed, but I still have a place in my heart for it.
Yeah. Look. I'm gonna say this. Make that character. I know he's a villain in the comics. You might as well just make him a good guy, because he's
Yeah.
just so dashing and suave. And then the actor playing him, I'm just like, we've seen him in another show that we all liked, and I was just like, yeah, well, you know what? Just have him be a hero too.
Yeah, I mean, look, uh, Daredevil Born Again has given me hope for at least the television shows, right?
My nigga did not say the movie. He said the TV shows.
Yeah, for like the TV shows, like it's given me hope. Yeah,
Yeah, because look, Thunderbolts looks to be whatever, and then like, I was looking forward to Fantastic Four, and then that trailer dropped, and I was just like, oh, okay, okay, all right.
it's like the trailer is not wasn't even a trailer. It was more a sizzle reel for the design elements, right? Like it was a nothing thing. It was
Yeah,
a nothing trailer.
I hope y'all modulate my the Thing's voice, bro, because we can't just have Evan. Like, I'm glad everybody has agreed with me, and like, yeah, you just can't have Evan have his voice out here.
Right. Like just raw. Like it's like, well, he is made of stone. There's got to be something,
Right,
right?
right, yeah.
Like,
You can't have him being out here being like, yo, it's cold in here, cousin. Turn up the heat. Like, yo, when he tasted that sauce that Herbie was making, I thought, like, when he tasted it, I was like, yo, it tastes like shit, cousin. I thought he was gonna say that. Also,
if he says yes, chef, I'm gonna shit my pants.
also, is Herbie gonna talk, or is it just gonna bleep bloop?
I don't know. Like I don't know Fantastic Four like that. So
You know what Herbie is, right?
the robot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. In the
yeah. Like,
comics, that motherfucker talks and is sentient, but it looks exactly like that.
I mean, maybe once they progress to like our timeline, he will, and I'll use some Stark technology. I don't fucking know.
I'm gonna be real, because the fact that they haven't modulated the Thing's voice, the fact that we haven't seen Mr. Fantastic in action, the fact that Herbie ain't talking, I'm like, yo, this feels like a rush job. Like the
It was a concept trailer. It was like this is what we could do.
like the only person who seemed to come to play was Michael Giacchino with that score. Because it's Michael Giacchino, he never disappoints.
Let's talk. Let's get a Werewolf by Night. Let's get some more of those.
Well, good news is, Ronaldo Marcus Green, the director of King Richard, has recently come out and said, like, yeah, and Bernthal has confirmed this in interviews. Once Daredevil Born Again is finished, Punisher is getting his own Marvel special presentation that Bernthal is writing, and Ronaldo Marcus Green is going to direct.
Ooh,
I was just like, damn, bro, y'all can't give him like a TV movie or a season. He's only getting a special presentation.
But like, we don't know what special presentation means. That could mean a fucking
There's been 2 of them already.
no, but like it could be an hour and a half thing, right?
They're usually shorts though. Like Werewolf by Night was like 40 minutes. The holiday special was 30. Like they've been short.
Yeah, but like this is the Punisher, right? Like this is tentpole territory.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, why does he get a special presentation and not like a full fucking project? Because like, again, Charlie Cox has been the best iteration of Daredevil. What's my man's name? Vincent D'Onofrio has been the best iteration of Kingpin, and yet every time this motherfucker comes on screen, I'm just like, bro, I just want to watch the Punisher, man.
Right?
Like it shouldn't be
every
like
time.
that. It really should not be like that.
I like every time, like Barenthal steals the fucking show in anything he does. Honestly, right? Like the dude was created. He's the Weapon X of acting, right?
Yeah.
Like they built that motherfucker in a lab somewhere.
You know what, man? Since we're doing this dumb shit of having Robert be both Tony Stark and Doctor Doom, just let this nigga also be Wolverine. Because with the long hair and the beard, I was just like, oh, he could be Wolverine. That's Wolverine.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, at this point, since y'all don't care about double dipping and just don't care in general, you know what I'm saying? You're like, why not?
Yeah, look. Ooh, Barenthal as Wolverine. Oh, that's too much intensity, dog. That's too like.
Yo, him doing the scream with as he's chopping people up. With the yeah.
Boss Logic needs to get on that. Like make that render.
Yo, you know what? I will do a Wolverine special presentation, and I would just call it Wolverine: Face Off.
Well, so it's Bernthal versus Bernthal, right? So it's Wolverine versus Punisher.
No, it's called Face Off because that motherfucker's gonna be using them claws to take off faces, nigga. Like faces are gonna be falling off in the little pieces. Like I want niggas to puke watching this shit.
Oh man. All right, so now we're getting into fanboy territory.
Yeah, that's not our job. We're fans, but we're professionals. Fans are for you motherfuckers who find strangers on the internet to argue with, and I'm a grown ass man. I don't have time, and I don't want to engage with you people like that. Yes, I said you people.
You people.
Yeah, you disgust me. I
I
already dealt with one of you for the tweets, man. Yeah, you saw, right?
Yeah, you sent me the tweets. It's like, why is this? You explained what you could explain,
right? And then I'm the asshole, right? I'm the asshole. Right. I get called the asshole.
Well, look, this is why I hate putting stuff out on the internet, but also we have to put stuff on the internet. Like motherfuckers coming at me for fucking Captain America. Right? Like,
oh yeah. One of them we know, and I'm just like, anything comic book related, this nigga gets in the mix, and it's just like, bro, you are like 45 years old, and you hang out on Instagram and Facebook all day to argue with people you know about this shit. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah,
like seriously, are you? Like Jeff, when you said I like Deadpool and Wolverine, did I sit here and argue with you for fucking?
Nah.
You know why?
Nah.
Because one, you like what you like, and two, I don't give that much of a shit, bro. Like I got other shit to worry about. You like the shit, you like the shit.
Look, and we've had this conversation on this show plenty of times, and in real life, right? There is a difference between liking something and realizing something is good or not, right?
Yeah.
And like a lot of people get that shit confused. Just because you like something
doesn't mean it's
good, right?
Like I love I Know What You Did Last Summer. I could also fully admit that shit's not good, and I cannot wait to see whatever it is that's coming out this summer.
I will live and die by saying that Armageddon is one of my favorite movies of all time. That shit is dumb as fuck.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? I love it. I love it to death. Right? Like I own the fucking Armageddon Criterion set, right? Like that and Blade were the first 2 DVDs I ever purchased.
Oh, man,
Right?
I'm saying.
Like, but like if you look at what the metrics of good cinema is, it is not.
Yo, right?
It is a entertaining as fuck movie.
Right, bro. We're not gonna say like, "Yo, Honora shouldn't have won Best Picture. Armageddon should have." Like, you'll
Right.
never catch
Right.
me saying
Right.
some shit like that.
Right.
I might
Exactly.
enjoy Armageddon. Might be a more enjoyable movie than Honora. It definitely ain't better.
Right. Right.
Like, I'll watch
Right.
Armageddon more than I would Honora, but that don't diminish the quality of Honora.
Right. That's like if you go to a high end if you go to a high end burger joint, right? Like artisanal burger joint, right? And you go to McDonald's, right? Like you ate the McDonald's, it was cheaper,
Yeah,
it was easier, it was
yeah,
faster.
yeah.
It's still it's a hamburger, but you got to admit that it's not the best hamburger,
Right.
right? Like there are a lot of different reasons why you like it, right? One of them is not quality.
Man, yeah, man. Yeah. Yo, and y'all motherfuckers be treating it like, yo, we talk shit about your wife or your mom. Like,
Right?
it's like so personally. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, you
Like I
do
want
realize our job is to like critique this shit. And it's not
right,
like we want to come out. I say this every single time. It's not like we go into this shit being like, ooh, can't wait to tear this a new asshole. It's quite the opposite.
I want to be surprised at how good something is,
Right, right.
right? Um, and it makes it even harder for black projects, right?
Yeah.
Because like you go in and it's like no matter what I say, right? Like if I approach this as a critical exercise, right? Then if it's not good, I'm fucking Uncle Tom. I'm cooning,
See,
right?
I fell into this trap for one of them days, right? I said it's the next generation's fucking Friday. And here we go. Here we go. Opened up the floodgates. And I'm like, y'all niggas realize Friday's almost 30, like 30, coming up on 40, right?
Right.
Coming up on
Oh,
40 years.
no, not 40. It's like 25.
Oh, it's
Like 'cause
over 30.
I saw no,
Yeah,
like
it's
'cause
over 30, bro.
did I
Friday
think I
came out in
was
like 93, 94. Hold on.
was I
It's
I
definitely
thought
been a minute.
I thought that came out when I was like in my 20s.
1995.
Oh, so I was like 15 when that shit came out.
So yeah, we're
Yeah, it's
coming
30
up on
years.
30
It's 30
years.
Yeah.
And y'all trying to tell me I'm delusional for saying it's the next generation's Friday. Dog, there's been 2 generations after Friday has come out. Are y'all
Yeah.
fucking insane?
Yeah. It's and honestly, look, Friday is funny,
Right.
but it does not hold up beyond memes.
Right. And that's the same thing with fucking one of them days. It is a perfectly fine comedy. It is just like Friday, except with women and for
For this generation.
it's for Gen Z.
Right.
I fully admit I'm a millennial. And as a millennial, I enjoyed it and I realized, oh, this is for Gen Z black women. Just
And
like
look,
Friday was for Gen X black men.
yeah, 100%, right? And like I'm not just because you are critical of something, just because you look at it as an academic exercise does not mean we don't like the shit. Right? It's just like this is how you get soul plane, right? Like this is how you get all of these we've had this conversation before. This is how you get all these fucking black movies on Tubi, right? That are not good.
Well, would also like to point out, all y'all niggas is showing your age, telling me I'm delusional. I'm like, oh, y'all showing y'all age.
Right. Like if you can't see that just one of them days is comparable, if not better, than Friday, being more current with a younger cast with new sensibilities. If you can't see that, then that means you are stuck.
Yes.
And like, good luck. Like I'll Lucius Fox. Lucius Fox this. Good luck.
I fully expect to hear from that same person again on social media, though. Like you know this nigga gonna pop up.
Look, they always do. It's fine. Just keep living. Just keep flossing, baby. We gotta keep floating.
God damn, Jeff, you are a couple of years younger than this dude. I'm about like 6, 7, maybe 8. I'll say 8.
Yeah, 7, 8.
Yeah, 7, 8 years younger than him. And even I'm just like, man, I'm too old to be doing this with you, bro. Still.
Right, like
I got other like I don't have a kid. He has a kid. Like don't be worried about your fucking kid, bro.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like I can't worry about what other motherfuckers should be worried about, right?
Right.
Like I don't like I got.
I mean, me and you, we stand on business. We're like, yo, we gotta go make this money, and we make it happen, right?
Right?
Shit.
Like we
Look,
gotta get these interviews, baby.
It's called.
We got to expand this brand.
Yo, listen, we are being crushed under the wheel of capitalism. Like, I don't have time for fucking nonsense about.
Right.
Like, I don't really give a fuck. You enjoy Captain America? Great, bro. But don't fucking be sitting here expecting me to go back and forth with you when I'm just like, yo, man, I gotta go make some money.
Right. Like I don't like. I'm not. If I'm not in person, I'm not sparring.
Oh yeah, no.
Right. Like if I'm in person, yeah. All right, let's spar.
I mean, Jeff, you see the replies I always post to the strangers where it'll be like, okay, Jeremy. Okay, Sean. I could have told you that from the trailer. Okay, Jeremy.
All right, cool. Yeah. Well, thank you. You could have told me that.
Like you know, it's our job to give everything a fair day in court. Right. Like you can't just sit here and watch a trailer and be like, "Oh man, this is gonna be shit." I'm like, I don't know, man. It's a trailer. It's a fucking trailer.
Yeah. And like, look, at the point we don't have the option or the luxury of not going to see something.
Well, since we're talking about Disney, we might as well get this out before we wrap up. I went to see one of the biggest movie in China right now. Biggest movie, hit 2 billion worldwide this past weekend. And I saw it. I was the only person who wasn't Chinese in the theater. They played the trailer for Snow White in front of this movie. And I was just like, you know, maybe me and Jeff don't have to review everything. Like I watched it and I was like, maybe might be the first one where I'm just like, you know what? I abstain. Cause I was sitting there watching it and I'm just like, I just don't think I have it in me. I just don't have it in me.
You know what? I'll take the bullet for you. Cause like, look,
I can't do it.
Disney, like I know Disney's gonna go full court with this. I want to go to the new Disney screening room. That's the only reason that's when I'll go. Like if they have the shit in the new Disney screening room, then I'll go and review this movie.
I'll say this if we get invited, but I'm not gonna seek it out.
Right.
The How to Train Your Dragon remake, they played the new trailer for it, and I was just like, oh, so there's literally nothing new in this motherfucker. I was like, this is another one where, you know what? I don't have to see it because if I want to see How to Train Your Dragon, I could just watch the original animated one because that shit still slaps. It's still amazing. I'm like, bro, y'all changed nothing except it's just live action. I was like, there's no need for me to see this.
But so now you know how I feel about these live action remakes.
Yes.
Right?
Like this is the one that like How to Train Your Dragon is the one that broke me where I was just like, dog, you guys literally did nothing new. At least Disney, they will attempt to do new things. And I mean attempt.
Right.
This motherfucker, it looks like Jeff, it's literally a 1-for-1 shot from shot where I was just like, I've seen this movie 5 times. And y'all trying to sell me just it's like when you buy a video game and they're like, yo, you get 5 extra skins. This would normally cost $20. And I'm like, who's paying $20 for a fucking skin? That's How to Train Your Dragon. Like y'all about to pay $20 for a new fucking skin.
Like they wouldn't sell the skins if motherfuckers didn't buy the skins. That's the problem.
I'm like, bro, I'm here to play the game. I don't really give a fuck about the skins. Like if it's like Spider-Man, like sure, I'll do the side missions to unlock that shit because that's cool. But you ain't gonna see me pay. I already paid $60 for this motherfucking video game. I ain't giving you another 20 just for a couple of new suits and skins. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like, I watched that trailer. I'm just like, you know what? DreamWorks, I root for y'all because y'all try with your animated shit, but like I watching that trailer, I'm like, yo, I hope this shit bricks, bro. Fuck y'all for that. Like, fuck y'all for that, bro.
Oh, all right. Well, look, fuck. Hot take. Like, I'm not invested in that at all because I still haven't seen the original.
Oh, nigga,
How to
you
Train Your Dragon.
fucking up. You fucking up bad.
But like, from what you tell me, like, I'll just go watch the animated one.
It's on Peacock.
Right? Like, yeah. So like, there you go. Like, Peacock. I forgot to cancel my Peacock subscription, so they got me for another month. So I might as well watch this shit.
They keep sending me emails like, hey, come back. We'll give you a whole year for $30. And I was like, oh, y'all don't know. I finagled another $20 from y'all from the Black Friday deal.
Yo, Paramount keeps on sending me these fucking emails like, come back to baby, come back. It's like, come on, baby, we'll give you like 6 months for $1 each.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah, dog, because I went to go cancel after that Black Friday deal for Paramount, and they're like, we'll give you another month for free. I was like, all right. Went to go cancel it this time. I was like, oh, y'all not going to offer me another month? All right. See ya. Click.
Look, I'm playing. Like, sometimes you got to play Texas Hold'em with these fucking streaming companies anymore. It's like, I'll raise you.
The only time I pay full price is for the package. Like, I'm paying full price for the package deal, which is HBO, Hulu, and Disney Plus all in one. And and even that I split with my brother.
Yeah, but that's a deal.
Right. $30 a month.
Paying full price.
$30 a month. And me and my brother, we split that shit.
Yeah, so $15 a month. That's still cheaper than most of these motherfuckers just for one service.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the only one I pay full price for, and I'll probably never get rid of, is Criterion. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because that shit you can't, like, no other streaming has that. Like, no one else will have their content, right? Like, Amazon, the shit's gonna be on Netflix in fucking 3 months, and vice versa. Like, they're fucking trading Pokemon cards out here.
Oh yeah. Look. Amazon and Netflix. I'll only Netflix. This is the last year I'm paying for y'all because y'all have some shows wrapping up that I want to finish, and that's why. Yeah. But other than that, it's like I'll never pay for Netflix again after this year, and then Amazon. I'll only activate y'all when I want to watch Reacher or Wheel of Time, and that's it, baby. Like, I ain't supporting, like, Bezos. You kind of killed that whole service for me. For, like, fuck you.
Yeah, so
Hulu too. Like, I'm looking at Hulu because after Sunday with the Oscars, I'm like, oh, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, bro. We're getting more into that in our next episode, though.
So was that deliberate?
They cut off the broadcast because that's when whoever programmed, because it's programmed.
Right.
So whoever programmed it didn't think to give it an extra 30 minutes because award shows run long.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, they just thought like, we'll program it. We'll have the feed broadcast till 11:30, and then it'll be fine because the show will be over by then.
It's like, no, like,
it's never over on time.
Are you new?
I was like, Adrian Brody just made a 6 fucking minute speech. And I'm like, nigga, you won before. I don't know why you're making a 6-minute speech, bro.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. But Daredevil Born Again, give it a shot. Yeah. I like it, and they're doing justice by my favorite character. I just can't give you a full on recommend until I see the last 9 episodes, which isn't till this time next year.
Yeah.
So,
like, look. So honestly, we need everybody to bump these numbers up.
Yes.
We need you to watch this right away.
Yes.
Right, and watch it faithfully and consistently.
Yes.
To show Disney that they need to release that second half faster, because like another year. I
mean, I'm gonna end up rewatching this again just because I want to watch it in full 4K and surround sound on my sound bar. Also, doesn't have my fucking watermark obscuring a good portion of it.
And I felt real dumb, like trying to like adjust my head to look around. I was like, nigga, you know, whatever angle you look at this, like it's still obscuring. It's sort of like what fucking Polanski did in Rosemary's Baby, but we'll get into that's separate
Hey,
talk.
just Disney, just a real quick thing before we go, Disney. You could do what every other screening company does, which is they put the watermark in the corner and it pops up every once in a while across the screen, but then it goes away. Or you could do for what some other digital screeners do, which is hide the watermark in the actual file, because this has happened before where people will rip a screener and then upload it online and then they get busted immediately because guess what? It was embedded into the actual file.
Right. And honestly, I don't have the energy to rip this.
Yeah.
To
Man. Like,
upload it.
I
don't need that clout.
I have too much respect for movies and TV to ever fucking bootleg or leak some shit.
Yeah, like
I leave that to the actual criminals.
Like look, I don't need the clout that much.
The clout
right?
is us putting out tweets and putting out these reviews.
Like the clout is the show.
Yeah, right. So
anyway,
that's Daredevil Born Again, first half of season. What first? The first part. How about that?
Like 1A.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.